Hey everybody, welcome to another DW Plays video. This time I am taking a look at, as you can see here, Castlevania Dracula X. This is the Super Nintendo remake of the PC Engine game Castlevania Rondo of Blood. It is generally regarded to be a considerably inferior version of Rondo of Blood. It is also the basis for Netflix's new Castlevania anime series about Richter Belmont, because he is the main protagonist of both Rondo of Blood and Dracula X. And he is also a major character in Symphony of the Night, which is a sequel to this. So, why is this a DW Plays, you may be wondering? Because I certainly plan on doing a review of Rondo of Blood eventually, and I will definitely be trying to cover this as part of that. Well, the simple fact of the matter is, I'm probably not going to talk too much about Dracula X during the Rondo of Blood video, because I'm not really all that concerned about Dracula X in comparison. But I will certainly mention it in the video, and I'll show a bit of footage, I guess. The thing about Rondo of Blood is that it was not released in the West until long, long after this was. So for a very long time, Rondo of Blood was Japan exclusive, so people didn't actually get a chance to play it. And this is all they got, which is really unfortunate, because Dracula X is not great. I mean, it's not awful, but it's not great. And of course, the music isn't as good as the PC Engine, which, by the way, if you're not familiar with the PC Engine, it was the Japanese version of the TurboGrafx 16. See, and you can't walk into that, so then you had to walk all the way back. Now, Dracula X does have a couple of things that are different from Rondo of Blood, namely there are alternate endings. As you know by this point, if you've been watching my videos for a while, I'm not good at platformers, and I don't particularly care for them. Castlevania are some of the relatively few that I do actually like, but I don't really like this style all that much. And it would help if I could actually play the game properly. But, really need some wall chicken here. Now, that's so annoying. Come on, game, give me some wall chicken. Now, I mean, don't get me wrong. Even with Dracula X being an inferior version of... Ah, shit. Even with Dracula X being an inferior version of Rondo of Blood, it still has one of the better soundtracks in the series. Which is not really surprising. I mean, it's a series known for having great soundtracks. And, of course, Rondo of Blood, aka Dracula X, is absolutely no exception in that regard. The soundtrack is fantastic. This tune your ad... okay. That's how we're going to roll. By the way, would you be surprised if I told you that I've actually never made it past the first level of this game? Yeah. Not necessarily... because it's especially difficult, but because it's weird to describe, but the controls in this game actually feel a bit stiff. It's not like some of the other Castlevania games that came out around that time, where the controls feel actually quite smooth. This feels like a lot closer to the NES games in terms of how stiff the controls are. And I think that was partly a result of converting it over from the PC engine. But, that's not good. But, come on. One of the really annoying things is that you can just continually take damage. There's no, there's not really an invincibility frame upon being hit, so you can just keep stacking damage like that. It's really irritating. And then there's the orb. Let's get the orb. So, another thing that's really annoying about Dracula X compared to Rondo of Blood is that Rondo of Blood actually has a save system. So you could just save your game and keep playing. Dracula X, on the other hand, is very old school in the sense that it has a password system. Now, this is not a very long game. I believe it's 8 stages. But, we're just gonna go until I get a proper game over here, so let's see how long that goes. And we got some classic Castlevania tunes reimagined for this game. Now, as far as jumping controls go, it's hard to describe, but there is actually a very slight delay when you press the jump button. It's hard to crap. Okay. Oh, okay. There we go. There's the game over. Because DW is bad at platformers. At any rate, there you go, folks. That's Castlevania Dracula X, also known as Castlevania Vampire's Kiss in Europe, as well as Akumajo Dracula Double Cross, I believe is the way you actually say that in the Japanese version. Because whenever you see X as part of a game or movie title or whatever, where let's say Castlevania Dracula X, you wouldn't say Castlevania Dracula X, you would say Castlevania Dracula Cross. I don't know why they do that, but it is what it is. At any rate, folks, I hope you all enjoyed the video. As far as getting a proper review of this, stay tuned for that whenever I end up doing it. I do have a copy of Rondo of Blood for PS4. It was remade for that fairly recently and was actually, well, not really remade, but re-released. And it also included Symphony of the Night, so it's unfortunately the PSP version of Symphony of the Night. I think it's actually the PSP re-release version of Rondo of Blood as well. It's a bit of a complicated release history with this particular game, but Dracula X is the SNES version, or Super Famicom version for Dracula, or not, yeah, Dracula Double X. But it's not good. If you're gonna play Rondo of Blood, don't play Dracula X. Play Rondo of Blood, because it's just that much better, namely with things like the soundtrack, which had much higher quality because, well, CD-based system. Alright, thanks for watching, and I will see you all in later videos.